When they're young, like that, that is when you establish your authority. That's when you get it in. Okay? And you get it in being very civil. She didn't spank him out of anger. Okay? She was calm. It was very humane, but it was firm so that he knew why that was happening with him. All right? And that's very important. It's very important. And that's with any punishment. Okay? Some of you just really go, y'all be thinking up some stuff, you know. But he understood that and he was young. And at that moment, she established her authority. Her loving authority as a mother. Okay? All right? So that was an incident I wanted to share with you, because some of you employ the corporate punishment, and that is a way to establish your authority. I'm not going to knock that. She didn't go crazy on him and all that. Didn't hit him with her fist and slap him and kick him. You know, she was very civilized, even calm, but yet stern. Okay? So this was not abuse in any sense at all. It was just a disciplinary action. All right? And when you do this correctly, and when it should be done. Okay? Some of you are spanking your child for every little thing, and they just get immune to that, and they get used to that. No. That's not it either. Okay? You shouldn't be spanking them for everything. Everything don't render a spanking. Okay? You shouldn't be just hitting them with your hands. I see that as well. And I've talked to parents about this as well. And we've come up with some other things. Okay? And the root to all of this is, first of all, when they're young, when they are a toddler, you establish your authority at that moment. For those of you who didn't do that and you're having some issues with your older children, you need to start communicating with them about things. You need to start having conversations. And start slow. And if you need some help, I would love to help you. Okay? All right. And as they get older, you know, of course, you can employ some other things, take away privileges. You know, you can, things that you may have purchased for them, the cell phone or something like that, laptop, tablet, these things that children have, you can employ maybe taking those things away from them, you know, things like that. You can come up with something, all right? And then I would also suggest, the main way, though, as I always say, is to just establish communication with your children. That is the main thing. If you don't get anything else from this video, that is the main thing to take away from this, okay? Because you must get your children on your side, or you will be arrested. If you're thinking that it can't happen to you, you're wrong. And I also suggest that you purchase the DSM. DSM. And I forget what that stands for. Go ahead and Google that for your school so that you know your rights as a parent at the school. For those of you who have children in school, so that you know your rights. And also, you need to study your rights in the state that you live in as well as the city. Okay? In that district. So that you know your rights as a parent. Should this ever happen to you, you are armed with information. Okay? All right. Also, talk to your children about Child Protective Services. Talk to them about that. Paint a picture for them. All right? Let them know that, you know, the person that was explaining to them at school or what have you is because there are parents who abuse their children because they don't love them. All right? And just keep it simple like that. Okay? And explain to them what abuse is. Okay? And then tell them what will happen should they ever call the police on you or tell the teacher, you know, because they're upset, you see, and they start talking to the teacher about it and what could happen. You know, be honest with your children. Be honest at their age, okay? All right, so when they talk to their teacher about them being upset, let them know what might happen, you know, and they should not be going to school still upset, and they shouldn't be talking to their teacher about why they're upset. That should be over with because you are talking to your children. They're your children. That's your child, okay? All right. And then, ask them questions. I remember when my oldest child came to me and she was just asking about an official that came to their school. And this person explained to the students, which included her, that, she can call the police if her mother or father attempted to discipline them. And so my daughter found that to be very interesting. And she didn't know if that was true or not. And so she came home and was just kind of asking me about it. And so what I did was I sat her down and explained, how I take care of her, how much I love her, and what will happen, and what happens to parents when they do that, and when they call the police on them. And then I explained to her the same thing will happen to me should you ever do that. And then I would ask her, who would take care of her if they took me to jail? Who would take care of her? Who would take care of her and her brother and sisters? Who's going to feed y'all? You won't be able to sleep in your bed because they're going to take you away and you'll be placed in somebody else's home. Okay? And, I continued this line of questioning. And then in between asking her what she think about that, how she feel about that, is that something that she wants to happen to her family? All right? And we had this conversation. It was back and forth conversation because I was allowing her to process that information and think it through. Because I tell you, parents, those of you who have children in public school and even private schools, even charter schools, they don't teach our children how to think. They teach them what to think. You see? It's your job as a parent when they come home from school to teach them how to think. And you should be learning how to think yourself. Anyway, she understood everything. Matter of fact, she understood everything. And, and that was the end of that. And needless to say, she never brought that up again because she understood everything. I thoroughly made sure that she saw the full picture and got the whole story, you see. So, keep in mind, I already established an open communication with my child, the trust and the bond with her anyway, and I started that as a baby. And I will help you do the same. Okay, but have that conversation with your child when they come home and they tell you that they came and they talked and, and explained all that. That is your time right then and there. No matter how busy you are, stop what you're doing and have that conversation because it's on their mind. And you need to nip that in the bud right then and there. So, okay, wrapping this up, parents, be in communication with your children. Be in constant communication with your children. And I don't mean that you have to be talking to them all the time, but every day there should be a conversation about something. And especially this, because you don't want this to happen to you. And it could just be all of a sudden. And it's very devastating. Okay? Know your rights as a parent. Because that conversation taught me that. See? That taught me to know my rights as a parent. All right? With the school system and in general. Also, never, ever, ever show fear of anyone to your children, in front of your children. Especially if it is a threat to your family, which puts them on the winning side, your child, which makes them a winner. Never. Never do that. Because, see, that's your child, and they look to you for protection. Because you're the parent. You see? So if you're showing some fear because of something they said, you've lost your respect. All right? I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If this sounds like someone you know, I would love to help them. If this is you, be sure to have them or you book a 45-minute session with me, and I would love to help you out. My links are below the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more information. The Facebook link is below, and I also started a GoFundMe account to be able to pay for the overhead of having the online course online for you, available for you. Okay? So, and I thank those who support the GoFundMe. I appreciate you. And I will see you on the next topic. Peace.